the show. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. On tonight's show, we are talking the latest film for one of my favorite filmmakers out there today, Steven Soderbergh. This man has brought some of my favorite films of all time, including the incomparable Ocean's 11 remake from the early 2000s with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. And he is out with his first horror film ever this past weekend. And that's what we are talking about here tonight. Strap in, folks. Tonight we are talking Presence. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for this one here before, Presence focuses on a family of four that move into a new home, seeking a new beginning after recent tragedy has befallen them. As the family begins to slowly settle in, though, they realize that they might not be alone in the house. As they seek to find out what this new presence is, the family must quickly find out whether it's friend or foe before another tragedy befalls them again. And there it is, folks. That is Presence. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't been following this movie at all, then obviously you're probably not aware to what this movie is really marketing itself as, which is this horror film that's told from the perspective of the ghost itself. The Presence, as the name of the film is, this is the point of view that we're coming from the entire time in this movie. And coming off of last year's In a Violent Nature, to where we got basically our first slasher told from the point of view of the killer, I can understand that there's now going to start being maybe more of a drive to see horror films from this point of view, because for the last 20 or 30 years, as we've had a lot of horror icons pop up, and we've seen the villains in a lot of these films, the monsters, the creatures, whatever, start to gain way more popularity, there's always been a lot of intrigue from audiences to start seeing things from their perspective versus us always following the victims, following the folks that are getting hunted down in the first place. And I think In a Violent Nature did a really good job last year, 2024, presenting something completely different to us. And I had said while watching that one thing that I had noticed about it, and I didn't say it was a problem, but it did kind of seem like it was being done like almost found footage style. Because were you to take our villain out of In a Violent Nature, then everything is just very much framed as if they had a camera crew around. And I enjoyed that perspective very much. And I did wonder, if you tried this idea again, is that the same kind of feeling that we would get out of it? And that's definitely something that stood out in my mind a lot going through Presence. Fairly quickly, they make it very clear that yes, we are looking at the point of view from a ghost, because I think in the first 20 minutes or so, there could still be some ambiguity that you could argue that, well, that might be the framing device, but if we really take a step back, it's kind of like we're seeing a personal look into this family's life, and just to us, it seems like it's a ghost, and they feel something's off because everybody feels like they're seeing ghosts all the time, but that's not really what's happening. But no, the movie does go the extra step to show you, no, there is an actual ghost, there is an actual presence at their house. But that doesn't change the fact that as you work yourself through this film, you can't help but feel in a lot of ways that you almost are doing found footage of a certain type, that there is some kind of secret hidden camera crew following around the terrible tragic exploits of this family, and we just kind of get to be privy to it. And it makes sense in a way, because certain characters are having these secret quiet conversations throughout the film and keeping things from other characters in the film as well too. And the film really uses its sound design really well, to where when we're leaving one room of the house and going into another, it's not so easy to make out what people are talking about and what they're saying. So I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that, but if you did get a chance to go and see Presence, let me know if you feel that same way in the comment section. Did this feel a little bit more like found footage than anything else, or am I just making too much of it because of the point of view that we're utilizing here? With this though, Soderbergh, who has always put together these really great cast in the films that he's done, has another banger of a cast here as well too. Lucy Liu, Chris Sullivan, Kalina Liang, and then Eddie Madej play this family of four that are moving in. And I think a lot of us know Chris Sullivan from works like This Is Us and Guardians of the Galaxy, Stranger Things. There's been some other stuff in there as well too, but he has the ability to bring a warmth to the roles that he's playing. He's usually cast in these kind of positions to where he has to be the person that's uplifting the other characters that are around him and very much adding to these loving environments. Like, I feel that's very much what an actor like Sullivan very much excels in, and he does that very well here as well too. As the opposite of what he's doing here, Lucy Liu is playing a role that I feel that she doesn't get to do all that often, to where she's playing the mother unit of this family, but there's very clearly a divide between her character Rebecca and Chris Sullivan's character Chris, that the relationship isn't on good ground right now. There's something going on with Rebecca's work situation, but not only that, with this tragedy that they're coming out of, Rebecca very much has turned pretty much all of her attention into their son Tyler, played by Eddie Madej, and focusing so much on his well-being and his life and all these things that she wants to make happen for him, while being very neglectful to their daughter Chloe, played by Kalina Liang. And you know, I thought that this gave Lucy Liu a lot to work with, because she's played villainous roles before, and it's not that Rebecca is villainous, it's just Rebecca is very much one-track mind and looking towards making things happen, looking towards getting results, and that doesn't leave her any time to consider the emotional ramifications of what anybody else is really going through, even if it is her own family. She only has this one-track mind towards making everything work out correctly for her son, because her daughter's a lost cause, is the way that it kind of feels. So why not put that energy into Tyler instead? And there was a certain point in the film to where it seemed like they were inkling towards something, I'm just gonna say incestuous. I'm gonna be real with that. And again, I could be out of my league here thinking it there, but for those of y'all who did get a chance to go and see it, tell me if I'm crazy. But was there not that moment in the kitchen that seemed like they were hinting like something like that could be going on? And of course, it's not the focus of the film, but it also can add to the trauma of what this family has been going through and the reason why everybody is so divided. And again, that transfers over to the kids as well too, because while our point of view is very much from this ghost perspective, we spend a lot of time really seeing things as well also from Chloe and Tyler, the kids, and the life that they're going through. You know, the tragedy that they've coming out of is the fact that one of Chloe's best friends recently died. And you know, Chloe has been through the absolute ringer mentally and emotionally dealing with this, and is still not through the other side of this at all. And she doesn't really have the support that she needs from her mother and her brother. And her father is definitely trying his best to be there for her and give her the support that she needs. But we can see that it's not enough, and that when you're pitting family against family, everybody's feeling that so deeply. And this ghost that surrounds all of them also just seemed to be like taking all of that in. It's like the ghost is almost the emotional punching bag for all this crazy emotion that's happening in this house here. And I think that that's kind of the point, is that somebody has to be the recipient of it. And Chloe very much seems to be taking it from everybody here. And then it's all getting released onto this ghost that's observing all these other things that are happening in this house. And this ends up leaving Chloe very vulnerable, because as we find out, Tyler's new friend that he's made at school takes an interest in Chloe, and there's unfortunately some nefarious intentions there with Tyler's new friend Ryan that's going to put the entire family at danger by the time we get to the end of this. And you know, you can kind of see the signs of it. Like I'll say that David Koep's script here, or Koep, I'm sorry, his script here is very, very smart, to where like there are little threads being left earlier on in the film that give you an idea of where this is ultimately all going to go and play out. And if you are paying attention, none of them really catch you off by surprise. But what did catch me by surprise was how emotionally daunting this film really was. You know, there wasn't a lot in the way of like genuine scares, but Koep keeps this haunting presence happening throughout the entire film, which says a lot considering we're watching a film that's being told from the perspective of a ghost. He manages to still keep it creepy. But the real winner is the emotional value that he's put into this, that we're seeing this broken family try to find a way to reconnect themselves and find a way to actually have that strength for each other. And it's so successful in the way that it plays this all out. This is definitely one of my favorites of the year so far. And I realize I haven't seen all that much, but I feel this is going to be one that's going to end up hitting my best of list by the end of the year. And we're only in January, so that is saying a very, very strong message. But who knows? I'm curious what y'all thought. Let me know here in the comment section. Presents very much brings shades of films like The Others and TV series like The Haunting of Hill House. That's the way I was feeling when I was watching some of this there. But I'm curious what y'all felt going through this. Let me know that in the comment section. And don't forget to get subscribed to my Linktree, as that's going to be the best way to stay up on all the content I'm dropping for you here in the world of horror, including reviews for new episodes of Dexter Original Sin and Season 2 of Mayfair Witches. Best way to stay up to date is to get subscribed to the Linktree, which you can access at linktr.ee/tscarymovie. If you get subscribed, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms for the audio-only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for full episodes, movie news, and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for horror gaming, including Phasmophobia and The Thing Remastered, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Hit that subscribe button, folks. I'll see you very soon with more great horror reviews. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.